Streaming live every other Sunday, this is Chillcast.
Certified hood classic.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting installment of Chillcast. I am your host, Zach Minyard, always joined by the lovable D-Dubman. D-Dub, how you doing?
Hey, how do you do? Happy Easters, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Lord be with you and such. And if you're watching on Spotify, happy 422. I'm not sure the correlation on both. Whatever. Fuck. Hey, how are you doing, Zach?
I'm doing good, but
shut up, Zach. We have a guest today, and he is a black man. This is our first black guest of the podcast.
Is that? No, we had... No, wait, yeah, that's right.
This now, Mann Lightfoot, or also known as Man of 1,000 Thoughts, does YouTube serve. He's a cartoon reviewer, but he shows his face, so it's cool. It's all fine. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me. I'm a Man of 1,000 Thoughts on YouTube, and like he said, I review cartoons and everything, pretty much. Mostly just the modern day stuff or anything current coming.
Which is a niche market, because most of the time when people like do modern stuff, it's like episode by episode. But you go ahead and just tackle the whole series head on. You're like, no, fuck it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, basically just that. I pretty much just give my initial impressions. I pretty much have just a show I call General Thoughts, just talking about like any type of new cartoon that comes out, and I do quick thoughts on a bunch of shows that are just not that big, or I know aren't going to be that big. So I just give my small impressions.
Oh, dang! Dang, man. Have you gotten any reception for anybody who actually worked on the show yet?
For one time I did get like sort of this for like I reviewed the Netflix show Buddy Thunderstruck, and like two of the writers actually saw the video for it, and they actually really enjoyed it. Like,
oh hell,
that's good. That's a good show too.
Granted, I was praising the living shit out of it, so it's kind of like, yeah, of course they're probably gonna like that. But well, like, I mean, it was a legit good show. So like,
if you went at it in like a Mr. Enter type like thing, like I'm sure they would have hit you up with comments of like, well, listen here, dirtbag. Here's how it actually went down. And like fucking people, creators always comment on Mr. Enter's videos and be like, well, no, you don't like it because of this, and like I was like, dang. Like, imagine creating a show and one person doesn't like it. And like writing a whole paragraph to that one person, because Mr. Enter's following is also like pretty bad on itself, and like
it's cancer.
So like a grand majority would like not like it either because this one guy doesn't like it, which is also a bad thing on the cartoon community as well. A lot of people don't like to form their own opinions. Like I always stress the fact in every video that I make, this was my opinion. You don't have to watch the show if you don't want to.
Right. Like that's something I always like try to stress myself. It's like, because the thing, like, if you go on my channel, you will notice like you watch most of my videos, you find I'm pretty positive for most of the shows I review. Mainly because I do think those are genuinely good shows. I mean, I do bash the bad stuff. I will bash your show. I really like vehemently hate it. But you mostly try to find some positive or look more for the positive rather than try to seek out the negative, you know?
As of late, I've been like reviewing stuff based upon like how long it took to make and like the actual effort that like writers and storyboarders like go at it.
Same, yeah.
So like I don't think of it as like, oh, I just watched it on TV, therefore I'm going to criticize it as such. I'm like, no, like, what did it take to make it, and how long it probably took to do that thing? Because like, a joke in the show, like it can happen in 2 seconds, but like the process to get to that point, it probably took like a year. So like that's like the big like threshold between like critique and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that's usually a very important aspect when it comes to like critiquing or reviewing stuff. Is like, if the piece of media you're looking at, does it translate to a lot of effort was put into this? You know,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
so
Zach, what you in music reviews, you don't just tackle and be like, oh yeah, man, that song was jamming, and like you actually know how like music is made,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
actually feel what's going on with like the like if you're listening to whatever a trap song, you will know the effort that was put into that based
Mm-hmm.
upon like the way it sounds. But like if it's like if they add like one instrument in the background that just throws you off like from like a regular trap song, you'd be like, oh hell yeah, that part was nice. I wasn't expecting that. Like you actually like analyze like
Yeah,
what it took to
exactly.
make it.
And when you're talking about things that you like, I feel like it's harder to make a video about something that you like than something that you don't like, because you can shit on something really easily and
Oh
get a lot
hell
of
yeah,
content out of
oh
that.
yeah.
But it's hard to explain why something is good sometimes.
very.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that is the more tricky part, is trying to find what, like, just exactly what makes something so good. It's very easy to shit on something to say this is bad and find all the faults, but like
Yeah,
trying to find all those goods is like you really gotta pay attention and look at every minute detail.
Exactly.
exactly.
And if it's something like you're really passionate about, like you grew up with, there's kind of like this lingering feeling of like, am I just is my dick just rock hard for this show because of like my nostalgia towards it?
Right.
With Ed, Ed, and Eddie, if I ever plan to review Ed, and Eddie, it's gonna be the most biased thing in the world because I just that's like that's my number one top favorite show.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I am to review it, I probably wouldn't say anything negative about it because I literally think it's like scripted, structured from gold, and like there's nothing bad about it at all. But somebody else can think, oh, these wavy outlines, like no that shit, and I'll be like, no, fuck you. It's just
You
you
probably
know
beat
like
the shit out of that person, Dito.
Yeah, a certain thing though that I know that I tend to think about is like in terms of personal taste. Like I pay attention to the show and make sure, and my thing is like on the basic level, does it succeed? Like, is it structurally properly well done? And usually the shows are, and I'm like, okay, if you're not liking it, that's down more to like personal taste. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like
well,
it's not that the show is bad; it's just personally you might not like it. That's why I
there's
tend.
also like this shift in cartoons nowadays that change their tone mid-season, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that can like mess with people too. Steven Universe is not the same cartoon it was when it first started.
No,
Yeah, it
not even
wasn't.
close.
Yeah, it's far different.
So like, if you ask somebody, hey, you watch Steven Universe, and if they hit you up with like, I don't watch it now, or like, yeah, I watch it now. Like those are like two separate parallels for like what it like used to be. I think OKKO is starting to do that too. Like they're starting to have like a overarching like premise to like what actually like world build to like what it is today when it started off as just a wacky fucking kids show.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that like show creators are now getting to that point of like, oh yeah, we can tell stories. Like eventually we just got to get our audience out the way first.
Yeah.
And Star versus the Forces of Evil is a good example of that too. They're not doing like a whole fucking arc right now, and it's crazy.
I think the big thing
started
with
off as this
that,
girl with just a wand.
yeah, the big thing with that, I feel, is just like they use those first couple of episodes to like get the characters, and flesh them out and make them likable, and then they put them in the narrative, so they don't have to do two things at once. And it's smart and everything. It works out pretty well.
I feel like the whole show is built around the story that they had intended for the later seasons. They just got to figure out how to hook an audience.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing though. Like with Star, like the big problem with it, like there's sort of this big problem with it is that it's a pretty unfocused. Like the latest season, their last season they're on right now. Like the first half of it, it's pretty like you're just wondering where the hell are you going. And like just recently they had their mid-season finale just today. Like, and
damn.
it was really good. It was actually really good, and it's like, damn it, how do you do this? Like,
would you say it's a good payoff from the stuff that you have to sit through to get there?
that's where it's tricky. It's like, is it like, because usually the payoff is around more the finale itself.
Sometimes payoffs are way better than the build up, and that's like really bad.
Usually, in this case, the payoff was really good. The way they did this, like the mid-season finale for this season. Yeah. And it's the same as last season where like everything building up to the mid-season finale just wasn't that good. But then you get there and then you even get to the finale and it's like, it's really great. It's like, how did you do that? Like, God damn it. Like it's just kind of inconsistent. That's just kind of.
I'm assuming that all the storyboarders aren't on the same page. I don't know.
In a sense, it's kind of because there's this weird thing with Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Like the thing is, the premise of Star vs. the Forces of Evil is far different from the original concept. Like,
oh hell yeah,
because it was supposed to be more slice of life. There was no magic. It was just Star was supposed to be like grade school even, and just be having this active imagination.
Yeah, like they changed the whole premise up, and like they made it their own fucking fan fiction at this point. It's like,
yeah,
basically.
Going back to the topic of people who create the shows who comment on your like videos or like actually like your videos. When I did the Mucha Lucha review, the person who made Mucha Lucha, he liked my tweet about like me like when I was like, hey, like you should like check this out, and like he liked the and like 2 hours after he liked the tweet, he blocked me. So like I'm assuming that he didn't like something about it, the video, and he's just like, nah.
Yeah, your Mucha Lucha video wasn't like the most positive video on Mucha Lucha, if I remember.
I was trying my best not to like completely bury it in poop. So like,
yeah.
So like basically when I was like, yeah, the animation is not so good, but hey, you know, it was like a 2000s Flash at that time, so they were just working with what they were working with. And apparently he just didn't like that. He's like, no, fuck you. Like, that animation was golden, and you don't know animation.
2000s Flash is the future. You don't know shit, man.
Yeah, and the person who made Proud Family watched 2 minutes of my video before telling me, he's like, yeah, no, I didn't like it. And I'm assuming that's because like one of the first jokes I say in that is like Penny has Down syndrome. Based upon like one of the photos, there's like one of these messed up production photos to promote the show, and like Penny's eyes were like lopsided and like off centered. And like I was like, dang, she don't look too hot in this photo. and so like that was like one of the first comments I made, and like apparently he was like, nah, you're black. I expected nothing but positivity in this video, so fuck you.
Like, but you watch it. If you watch the full thing, you'd see it's like he was pretty positive about it.
Yeah, you get to the part where D-Dub just talks about trying to bang Trudy the whole time.
that's the thing too.
That is the most repetitive thing when it comes to like black people and talking about, or black dudes and talking about Proud Family, is always saying how hot Trudy is.
No, I think that's all dudes talking about Proud
Bro,
Family.
she slay, bro. Man.
She
She does, but that is like, it's the theme basically. Every time you talk about Proud Family, you gotta
Bruce W.
mention
Smith knew what he did when he made those hips, man. He can't.
He did.
He can't act like that didn't happen. A lot of people.
He knew what he was doing.
A lot of people watched the How to Black video. A lot of famous people, a lot of YouTube personalities. They all think that my part of the video was scripted by Al Tariq Harris, which was the creator of the video, Tune. Tune, if you watch it, is more likely you're not, motherfucker. I'm a kill you. You stab and sent your vocals in for okay. Last month, I told Tune, hey, I got this video in like the movie Life, which stars like Eddie Murphy and like Martin Lawrence, right?
Oh yeah.
So like I asked him, I was like, hey, like you should be in this video. He's like, oh hell yeah, but I need to like rewatch the movie because like I'm a bit rusty. I was like, oh yeah, you can do whatever, dude. Like as long as you just give me your vote, I fucking chill on Twitter. So he does. He can't be disregarding. He can't be disregarding that I asked him for this shit. So I'm gonna hit him up in the DMs one more time and be like, hey, where you go? and But he's working on like a bunch of stuff right now. He has like this current project he's doing, this live action thing that he's doing. He's been venturing off from his animation work, and he's been putting off this Q&A ever since the How to Black video for like 3 months now, and I find it highly hilarious because he keeps telling me, he's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm over here editing this Q&A." I was like, "Bro, you don't got a lot of me, you know."
Unless he's trying to animate the whole Q&A, which
it'll be highly impressive if he was, but I know Toon. He barely. Oh my goodness, the How to Black video was supposed to come out like around September of last year, and it actually came out January like this year. So like that tells you off the riff. Like he asked for my vocals like around like September. So whatever happened between then was just him fucking around. So like I know for a fact his next video won't come out to like next year, and he can't tell me anything otherwise. But the biggest reception towards that video was the aftermath of everybody saying, "Oh, Johnny from Ed and Eddie was black." No,
oh my god, dog! I was so blown. I'm like,
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
How? Like,
I was like, what is
the
wrong
man
with
had
your
the
TV
fade.
sets?
The man, like, he had that bald head. Come on, like
Listen,
you gotta know that's a black kid.
No, listen, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know what. If you asked me what race Johnny was before, I honestly wouldn't know what to tell you.
Really?
Yeah, I never really thought about it, you know. I thought he was just bald. He was just a weird bald kid.
Dang, Captain Melonhead didn't do anything for you?
I guess not. Fuck, dude. To be fair, like, a lot of the color palette in that show is off, like, with their tongues, and some of the characters are a little more, like, yellow, and some are more red.
It was a unique stylistic choice to make all the colors wonky, yes.
Yeah, so
like
it's not
Eddie's
really
literally
necessary to
yeah.
think about it.
Eddie is pink, freaking Ed is orange. Like,
yeah, it's like
he's like
leukemia
a
yellow.
Yes. So like I do understand what you're talking about by saying it's hard to dictate what race is what.
Yeah.
Rolf is for sure foreign though. Like he's
yeah.
I don't think anybody like had a thing towards that.
Thing is, I kept thinking he was some type of black though because he had the brown skin. Like I don't know. I kept thinking.
I'm assuming this was
black.
you at a young age.
Yeah, when I was like 6 or 5 or so, when I watched Ed and Eddie.
Me hearing that accent off the bat, I was like, yeah, no, he ain't from around here. Like,
yeah, when I got older, I'm like, yeah, he's clearly from some type of Scandinavian, maybe.
How'd you feel about seeing Rolf with like the fade memes and like him with like freaking,
oh my god,
with like the fuckboy fit? Because like that's what got me for sure. I was like, yo, y'all ruining the culture. What's going on here?
Like, bro, and it's so bad because I'm pretty sure that was just 1 millisecond of a frame, and people just caught that.
People will
immediately
find
turned
anything.
it into a meme. I'm
Oh
like,
my
dog,
gosh! Don't get me
the
started on
internet is
SpongeBob
relentless.
memes. SpongeBob memes, you could take a screenshot from any episode, and it'll just be a new meme.
Yeah,
SpongeBob is the most universally fresh meme place you can go. And like that's crazy to think because the show is over a decade old. So like.
And no one
fact that it
fucking
still has
watches the new
material.
shit, and they still
it was a
make memes
meme
out of it.
before memes existed, basically.
And like it was so ahead of the time to have these memes now be famous, like for something that was written in like freaking early 2000s to be relevant at this time frame is quite the achievement.
Right.
I don't think any show can do. I don't see anybody taking screenshots from Steven Universe 10 years from now.
What about The Simpsons?
Oof.
Simpsons has memes.
That's a topic.
That is a topic right there.
Simpsons, I want it to end so bad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna go until one of the main voice actors die until they finally realize
that will be it.
Until they finally realize, yeah, we should stop. And as bad as that sounds, it's probably gonna be Homer.
Yeah,
that's probably gonna end it for everybody. Because I don't think you can replace. Because Homer, like not even Homer alone. The voice actor for Homer voices like 17 other characters in the show. So like that's like getting rid of a good 50% of what you have.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's
yeah.
true.
And plus, recently, Simpsons keeps doing this freaking, hey, Homer is gonna divorce fucking Marge
Oh
fucking
my.
gimmick.
They've done
Bro,
that plot
they
so
have-
many
They
times.
do that so many fucking times. It's like, why do you bother? And it's so bad because they keep hyping it up.
They
Yeah.
keep doing it. It's like, yeah, man, for sure this time is gonna happen. I don't stop.
Like,
what are you
like
doing?
it was so dumb because it's like they even had like for the last time I think they had The View, like Whoopi Goldberg and them talking about it, and I'm like, are you real?
What
Like
the
they're
fuck?
not gonna be broken up.
What
It's
the
not
fuck?
happening. Come on, bro.
They've done that
crazy.
plot like every season probably.
Every
like,
season. Yeah.
It always
At
happens.
this point, it's every season.
Yeah.
Man, you can't leave Homer, man. He's an everyman. Come on. He's so much of a good guy. And look at Marge. She's. All right, so yeah.
No, wait. I have a question. Do you think Marge is a cartoon MILF?
With her hair down, yeah. I'm not sure
I
how I
don't
feel
see
about
it,
the
man.
hair stock
I don't
thing.
see it.
you know?
Well, they did put her on Playboy, so
Yeah, that's
Did
weird.
they?
I don't get it.
yeah, they put her on Playboy. I'm not kidding on that.
That's something to look up. I didn't know.
That's
I'm
something
not
for
sure.
the Discord.
Yeah, man, that's something to.
Like they got her pinup pictures, and they even had like an episode that had additional pictures. If I'm right,
Oh hell yeah, that's one of those bruh moments, you know. That's one of those bruhs. That's one of those. I'm more of a Francine Smith person myself, so like I don't think like out of the whole Fox lineup, I think Francine is like my only go to.
I can't be attracted to anything drawn by Seth MacFarlane or Matt Groening.
Oh my god!
That's just fucking fact.
What does Seth do to you, man? Did he touch
No,
you?
because I'm not just. I don't know, man. I can't fuck with that. I don't know. It don't get me. You know. It don't activate the rocket. You know. It don't get shit.
It don't get me. Well,
It don't get me.
To be fair, anybody who tries to make R34 of Seth MacFarlane characters don't get very far.
It's hard.
His animation style is so not on the nose. It feels like you have to go by the character sheet in order for it to look right.
Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
their animation's so fucking stiff. Like they're not moving a lot.
Yeah,
They don't do a lot of
exactly.
squash and stretch. So like
When
if you're
other
drawing it,
cartoons,
it has to
people
look
take
like it.
liberties and,
yeah, people take
and
many liberties.
they take liberties and like it still comes out good. With Seth MacFarlane cartoons, it feels like if you take the liberty, people will be like, "Is that supposed to be Lois?" I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's the bad thing about it. So like, even searching for freaking material for my top 10 Mills video, when I got to Francine, it was so hard to find good art of her. So like that's why I was like, damn. Like I thought like a freaking blonde would be like, but like the art that I did find, it didn't look like her. So like that's why I was like, well, fuck. I guess I just gotta take stuff from the show and just run with that. Like I don't know what else to do. But yeah, Seth MacFarlane sucks.
That's my thing. That's my thing with Seth MacFarlane though. Like he's clearly done with Family Guy, but he loves his time on American Dad. As you can see, the disparity in quality. Like you see, American Dad still holds up pretty well. Like even
American Dad's the blackest show he's made. He like that show is more to the culture of black people than the Cleveland show was.
Now,
And,
please elaborate. Please elaborate.
Steve Smith does these R&B breaks where he like does like I don't know like some old like R. Kelly
he
type.
sings with some hardcore soul, and it's like
Yeah, and like
it's like did Francine fuck around? Like that's got to put you to ask a bit. It's like did she fuck around a little bit? Because no way that is Stan's son with them vocal chops, bruh.
yeah, so like basically in the show, Zach, they like to do these like cutaways to Steve doing like a art yards.
Like an R. Kelly video.
And every time he does that, like my family, who happens to be black, like they love that shit. So like they know how to freaking. My family has never laughed at a freaking Cleveland show joke once.
Not even when Kanye was on the Cleveland show.
It was so unnecessary. Like what?
Here's
Adding
the
them
thing.
to
Something actually did come out good though. I'll be a bit of a devil's advocate. Something came good. Something kind of good came out of Kanye West being on Cleveland show.
Yeah,
Like,
and he was a
second-
reoccurring character too.
Yeah,
that was the surprising part.
Yeah,
Because like this was during the ego like era.
yeah.
Like,
It was like
yeah.
during graduation and shit.
yeah.
So like him to be like, hell yeah, I'll be on the Cleveland show. Like that's hilarious to me.
Yeah. But like, I will stand by this. Like the one good thing that came from Kanye West, like guest appearing, like on the second episode he was on, they had this song where he was doing this like benefit concert to get this girl out of a well, and he's singing this song, and it actually went hard.
Oh dang! Oh dang! It was slapping.
Yeah, it was actually slapping, but it called it
All
"But
right.
Cleave in Yourself." But Kanye was actually spitting some bars.
Gotcha.
Like he really was really going hard there. And
Well,
it's like I don't
if that's
know
the
why.
case, I kind of like the first episode when he was like dissing Cleveland Jr. That was kind
Yeah.
of all right too. It wasn't as good as like the song from the second episode. But him to be coming on as a reoccurring character when like so many celebrities' egos are like, I'm too good for this show. What do you mean?
Or it's like too expensive usually.
Oh my goodness, Steven Universe adding Nicki Minaj to that show.
That was
probably-
the stupidest move.
Yeah.
On the
She was
card,
only there for
dog.
like
That was
3 seconds.
That was the stupidest move too, because now
They
it's
shouldn't
like
have
y'all
done
can
that
never
because-
show that character again just because
They can
it's
never
too
show that
expensive.
fusion. Well, they can show the fusion,
But
but
she
it
doesn't
can't
talk.
anymore.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
that's
she can never talk
crazy.
again.
They immobilized themselves because they just wanted the star power, which wasn't needed at all.
Most
But,
people
hey,
don't even know that's Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, probably because oh my goodness! And if you notice, they don't air that episode anymore. So
Of
like,
course not, because
so-
they have to keep paying her royalties since they use
Exactly.
her
Oh
voice.
shit! I didn't think about that.
which also reminiscent about like a person who's like very cartoon prone, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg
Right.
has been like a lot of animation stuff too, but I think that's just because he's a nice guy and never turns down anything.
Snoop Dogg, for real, he's reached that point in his career where no matter what he does, it will never be looked at as a fuck up. Like straight up, like no matter what, like this man has made a porno. This man almost went to jail for murder or some shit. Like this man,
He
was
switched
on
his
Big Time
gimmick.
Rush.
He switched his gimmick to a lion and still was relevant to do.
And he
so.
even changed it back. He was like, "Yeah, that was dumb. Sorry, guys."
He's like, nah, my bad, guys. I won. But like for Snoop Dogg to just that alias of being the guy who smokes weed and being known as that and still being able to go on these kid shows like he's not known for that is very hilarious to me.
Yeah, but then he still gets on music with the hardest motherfuckers, and he's not a joke.
Exactly. Like this man was all about the gangsters and shit back in the 90s. Come 2010s, it's like, yeah, he does this kiddie shit, and yet people are like, yeah, I wouldn't fuck with Snoop.
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
I would not fuck with that guy. Like,
Basically,
I
he still has
still
the same
respect him.
brand from back then.
Exactly.
Now, to be fair, I haven't listened to a Snoop Dogg album and been like, oh yeah, this whole thing slap. Like,
Yeah.
there's
But his
always like,
features are good. His features are
there's
good.
always handpicked tracks for me with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
have to make a Snoop Dogg compilation. I can't make like, I can't be like, oh yeah, this Snoop Dogg album's the best. Like, I personally just don't feel that way about him. But
I feel like he's a lot better in features than he is on his normal shit.
hell yeah.
And he's got
Speaking
some
of
godly
features-
features.
Have you seen him in the new Little Dicky fucking music video about saving the Earth?
Oh no, not that one. I saw him in the other
I
one.
haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, so Little
heard
Dicky made this
a bit.
full CGI 7-minute music video about global warming, and that's fine. It's whatever. But he's trying to raise awareness and like do like a fundraiser type deal. But the gimmick of the video is that everything is voiced by somebody famous, and Snoop Dogg was he was voicing a weed tree, which is like very very Snoop Doggish. I don't see what else he probably a dog. I don't.
I mean, or a
Nah,
lion.
just to be super, a lion, just to be super ironic.
Yeah, that would have been on the nose. But after Snoop Dogg's cameo, you see a CGI Kanye West come into frame and say, "I'm Kanye West."
Yeah, that was Kevin Hart.
And the funniest part about that is not Kanye West.
Yeah.
So I think Lil Dicky's at this point in time, he's like, I really want to meet Kanye West, and he just hasn't found the opportunity to do so.
I think Kanye West doesn't even know who Lil Dicky is. Honestly,
I think Kanye West doesn't know who anybody is, and he's just on his own wavelengths at this point. I'm still waiting on his new album to drop, but he with the bullshit. But you know, I'm gonna let him slide.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that's not the real name of the next album.
You don't like it?
Yandi. Come on, like first it's Yeezus, now he's like I'm Yandi.
I'm still waiting for TurboGrafx 16.
No,
so
that ain't gonna happen. That one's not coming.
That was such an excellent name.
I know. Fuck Kanye. Fuck Kanye.
Fuck Kanye.
That's it.
Yeah, the last good album to me with Kanye was like his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. After that, I was just any other album he's kept coming out with. I'm just like,
you're not the only one who thinks that way. A lot of people have been. A lot of there's been a lot of experimental stuff after that album to make people stray away from like, what the fuck is he doing? Is he on crack?
Yeah.
But like to me, that was like the most, like him doing the experimental stuff was the most like that was for him to get out of his like stagnant period of like the way he was making music. He now does it in such a different way. The fact that he got together with Daft Punk and was like, "Hey, I can do music a different way." I always thought it was like unique about him. So like that's why I was like, I mean, like the stuff like Yeezus. You can't listen to Yeezus. You can't listen to Yeezus once and be like, "Oh hell yeah!" Freaking guaranteed. The first time you listen to Yeezus, you're like, "Dang, I kind of want my 30 minutes back." What the fuck,
like, dog, the only good song I felt was from Yeezus was mainly "Bound 2."
You're not the only one.
And that was mainly more work of the beat. Like the lyrics themselves are kind of
I still don't even like Bound 2. If I gotta pick something from Yeezus, it's gonna be like Guilt Trip or something.
Damn, and a lot of people don't even like that song. So basically Kanye will grab you by the nutsack, but you're not sure what song that'll be.
Yeah,
so
that is really interesting.
But I know one thing everyone agrees that "Lift Yourself Up" song was total ass.
No, that's
I think that was the premise, and I refuse to think anything otherwise.
Yeah, him just clearly trying to troll the shit out of people.
I saw some fucking article, and it was like,
there was
Kanye
an article
West.
about the song?
No, it's talking about Kanye West in general, and it's like Kanye West, a famous rapper known for songs like Gold Digger and Lift Yourself. I'm like,
oh my god,
that's the one you're gonna pick?
Really? Yeah. It's like you go pick that song, the troll song.
It's not even a real song.
I think he's the only person to make that song, and people still take him seriously afterwards.
Because it's such a stupid joke.
And the thing is, I think more people are taking him a bit more seriously right now because he did that Sunday service thing.
That shit's cool. I like that.
Like that was, it was really cool. Like the one part I really liked from that was like when he was playing "Lift Off."
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
But that shit was cranking. Like like that shit mainly got to me because I used to play like band in high school. Like I was trumpet. Mm-hmm. So when they had the trumpets playing, I was like, "Yeah, feel it."
He's like, "Oh hell yeah!"
Exactly. I'm rocking back and forth. I'm like, that shit go. Like that actually goes.
They
what always
amazing.
gets me in like certain songs is like piano keys and like the way people do the symphony of it. Like that's that. What the fuck? What was that sentence I just said? Symphony of a piano. Anyway, long story short,
beautiful.
If you hit the right key during the song, I'm gonna be like, ooh, damn, man, was that a G? Was that a G minor?
Ooh, that G got me.
Hit the G spot.
I hate you so much.
I didn't say that.
Dang, you are now the pan piece of this podcast. That was so on it. He couldn't help it.
Oh, I couldn't. Like you gave me that opportunity.
It was there.
It was there.
It was really prevalent. I can't completely get mad.
So, man, what would you say is the next video to come?
Next video, it either could be another general thought because it might be on the show Tuca and Birdie. It's a Netflix series from some of the writers from BoJack Horseman, or it could be one of my man rants on the idea of, can a design trick you? Like, can a good character's design make you believe that they're an actually good character when in actuality they're just pretty, you know?
That's a pretty good topic. I like that.
Yeah.
Freaking. When you go to shit on Big Mouth, please.
I had already made a video on it, and my whole thing with Big Mouth was, I'm like, I see where you're going, and I sort of appreciate it, but it's misguided, you know? Like, it felt a bit like, it was trying to be very raunchy. Like, it was clearly trying to be somewhat like Family Guy.
I wouldn't compare it necessarily to like a Brickleberry type, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Brickleberry by no means.
Those guys are literally just trying to be offensive just for the sake of being offensive.
Yeah, but with Big Mouth,
they're like, we got the tools to do so. We won't do it as much, but just know that we can't do it.
But but when they do it, it doesn't even fucking hit though.
It can be hit or miss a lot of the time, but when they hit, it works pretty well. Like the funniest joke that I remember from like the first season was
there was funny jokes in Big Mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, got him. Shit.
Like the one that most common, like everyone agrees on, is the joke where they're like talking to each other, and they're talking about how girls can get horny, and their heads explode from it. It's like, what? That was like, I'm like, see, that was funny because like
that's a bit on the nose. Yeah. I can see that.
Like,
it's like the whole
like they clearly understand the concept of, you know, growing up and going through puberty and all that, and understand and are able to come up with some clever jokes. It's just it feels like they still have to live up to the standard of, you know, raunchy jokes for the sake of raunchy jokes. That's where
I feel like I would have liked the show better if they were teenagers. I'm not getting around the concept of like these kids getting hard-ons and seeing Kid Badge on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's where it got very uncomfortable when they did the fucking talking.
And they mention it too. They're like, "Oh, what a weird fucking show, right? A bunch of kids."
That was like a focal point of like their promotion. It's like, look at kids fucking talk about fucking pussies.
Yeah, and it's just like, "Oh, it's okay because you made a joke about it." It's like, no, it's the same shit.
Yeah. Like the raunch is just where it can be a turn off. Because I remember this one episode, like where they were constantly thinking about erection. Like one of the kids was constantly thinking about erections, and like he's mad he doesn't get an erection, and he's hallucinating playing basketball. All the players are a bunch of giant dicks.
I remember. And I was like, I think that's the only time I laughed at
censored that whole scene in my review of it, because I was like,
you can for sure say that this show isn't watchable with the family.
Oh, by no means.
That is an awkward moment waiting to happen. And
very awkward.
I freaking the whole Brickleberry crew and like what's that show? Paradise PD. I forgot what the show is called.
You had it right. It's just Brickleberry. Literally, dog. They literally took models from Brickleberry and put them in Paradise PD. They're the same characters with the same voices and everything, just a different.
I remember getting excited for Brickleberry when it first came out because Daniel Tosh was like, and I was like, oh hell yeah! Should I fucking Tosh.0 is in? Because like I was a big Tosh.0 mark.
That was when it was really big too.
Yeah, nigga's 40.
Is he 40?
Yeah, dude.
He looks good for 40.
He really does. He still looks like he's 20, and he whatever you're doing, Tosh.0, whatever you're doing, whatever you're eating, I want.
His name's not Tosh.0, asshole. It's the show's name.
Fuck you. Fuck it. Oh, so you think his name is Daniel Tosh?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
You thought it was Tosh.0 for the most part.
Well, damn. But yeah, back to Brickleberry. I was like, hell yeah, this show's gonna be good. And the opening scene was just fucking animals fucking each other in orgy, and I was like, yeah, where does it go from here? And then you see a black guy who's avidly doing the I'm black thing, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like this anymore.
That's my thing. Brickleberry was kind of a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah.
I was aware it was trash, but I watched literally all the seasons.
It was kind of hard not to turn away at times.
Yeah,
Well, not
'cause-
well, like not turned away. Like it's kind of hard for you to be like, dang, I really don't like this. However, I'm still watching it. That was me and Hannah Montana. I was like, this is for girls.
That
into
was
the
me and
story.
Hannah Montana too.
Yeah, freaking! Oh my goodness. I'm still with the mentality of Disney channels for girls, even more so than like back then.
Mm-hmm.
But freaking back then when Hannah Montana used to come on, I used to like look like back and forward to see if anybody was like seeing me watch it because I didn't want to get no.
about to return to it, but for the time I watched it,
what was your go-to sitcom for back then, man?
thought That's So Raven in terms of Disney. That was more my go-to. Definitely.
That was a goodie.
Dang, Corey in the House did nothing for you.
Corey in the House was actually pretty cool. I will admit that, but bro. I swear to God, they had like a pretty racist moment. Even though, like, like I'm not kidding. Like there was this one episode. I swear to God, and like Corey had to deal with his bully from That's So Raven.
Yeah,
and he had to put on this
Stanley.
show.
Juicer.
Yeah, the Juicer.
Oh, Juicer.
And Corey had to put on this show for the Juicer and all that, and it didn't go right, and the Juicer's pissed off and mad, and Corey's like, foreign Fred is like, well, at least you could be a bit more appreciative, and I swear to God, the Juicer was like, oh my God,
oh my God.
Bro. I mean, that's not even yes, that's not a real foreign. Like, she's not a real foreigner, but fucking hell.
Oh wait, you're talking about the girl from Yakima. Yeah,
yeah, from Yakima.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was like, bro, that was racist as shit.
Yeah, but he's also like a bully, so like.
I mean, yeah, but damn.
that was quite the way to write that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, right.
I forgot about the Juicer.
a lot of shows back in that time were like doing like race heavy episodes. Not race heavy, but like they always did like, how about you treat somebody the way you want to be treated? Like, like they was doing that moral high ground back then.
That's what Raven did that a lot.
What they're doing now is like the whole like gender prowess of like, hey, that person's a guy and girl. You got to respect that. And like I'm like, yeah. Thanks Disney for letting us know that.
Thanks Disney.
Yeah. But back then when they were doing like the whole That's So Raven with the, hey, don't fucking smoke cigarettes, you can die. I was like, holy shit. What the?
They used to do shit like that all the time.
Though I did kind of like that episode. I liked how they went about it. Like they actually had one of their good characters do it instead of just
they had like a freaking underage character fucking having a ciggy in her fucking hand. I was like, yo, that's great. I was like, yo, that's not cool. Why'd you do that? And like the kid in me was like, yeah, I don't want to consume secondhand smoke or anything. I haven't seen a weed episode on any freaking Disney property yet, so like
I don't see that.
I don't think they want to touch it.
Yeah, I don't think they want to do
that.
How
would you write that? Is what I'm asking.
Because you can't like gateway kids into it like that don't even know about weed. They're like, oh, what's weed?
Yeah, it's like how the DARE program tried to, get kids to not do weed, but they screwed up and got more kids to do it because it's like,
see, that's the thing.
What the fuck it was?
Yeah,
told us.
Freaking the thing with weed is like there's not a lot of disbenefits from it. Therefore, people telling you not to do it, and like usually you always get the question, why? Afterwards.
Yeah, maybe that's why, because they're not really against weed.
They don't know how to. They don't know the why in it. They don't.
Right.
He's like hey, so how come I shouldn't smoke? And he's like, what? Huh?
Like there is an actual why for like why minors shouldn't smoke it,
Yeah, because it'll hurt their fucking brains.
But in terms of adults, it's like go ahead, toke it up,
No,
like,
nobody's stopping it. Nobody.
No one should be stopping you, because
happy
you're just tweaking your conscience and chilling and mellowing
again.
out.
Like I don't want to see like a freaking 5-year-old on Instagram like rolling up a fucking blunt. Like that's not ideal. I don't want that. But
right.
like regardless, it's like a plant that can't harm you that much, but it can't make you dumb. Like I don't know.
It's not a personality trait like most people think.
Yeah.
Right. Like the most it does is just mellow you out, and the worst at worst you're just gonna be in the corner talking about the chicken god to yourself.
Yeah. Love that guy.
But like the fact that like cigarettes can like slowly kill you, like
Yeah.
I think that's more.
Yeah,
of a
and
no
cigarettes
than-
like actually cause cancer and health problems
Right.
to other people and things.
But like
Yeah.
that's but like that's a thing. TV shows be on Disney be doing addiction. People be doing addiction pretty well.
Yeah.
Like oh, I'm addicted to candy, or I'm addicted to freaking Raisinets or some shit like
They
that.
did that
You
with
can't-
Drake and Josh too. Remember that?
What?
Yeah, with the one of them was kept eating sugar and one of them kept
Yeah.
playing video games.
Yeah, and they had this bet like if the
Oh
other
wait a minute! Did
caved
one of them
in.
break out in a rash or something? Yeah, I remember the payout.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
He's like he
Yeah.
had to eat candy and the other one got the game sphere.
It's
It's
spherical.
spherical.
It's spherical.
Drake and Josh. Have you heard about all these freaking silly rumors about the show coming back, but it's really just them trying to create a new show?
Yeah, I kept hearing more and more about that. If they do come back with a new show, like I'm willing to see. I'm willing to watch that. Like, because I'm also looking forward to like that all that they're trying to bring back with.
I'm not
Kenan
sure how I
Thompson
feel.
and
Okay,
Kel.
I'm not sure. Okay, this has always been my main theory. Well, like shows and like the way that those aren't the original writers anymore.
Yeah.
So basically, the characters that were built from those writers are trying to make the show continue. Is that going to be the same show?
I feel like it's gonna end up more like Incredible Crew just because of the era that it's being written in, and it won't really be like all that.
That is where the problem becomes, because it's like most people don't know how to modernize proper. Most of the time when they modernize, they always bring in the pop culture stuff when it's like
Yeah.
Which is bad
Now.
because you need your stuff to be timeless in order for it to like hit.
But then they also want to market it and make it popular, so they do the pop culture bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like if I see like an AirPods joke or an iPhone, if I see like an AirPods joke or an iPhone joke in the show, I'll be like, damn, like 10 years from now that that show won't stick.
Fucking 2 years
Yeah.
from now.
Yeah. Oh my
Right.
goodness, We Bare Bears has that bad too.
Yeah,
that's
it's
why I
getting
couldn't-
away. It's
that's
getting
why
away
I-
from it.
It
That's
is.
sort of
it
why I
is.
couldn't keep up with it for a while. Like when it first started, because I was like, it's just pop culture. It's just pop culture, the TV series. But
That's
with,
why
you know,
I thought that was gonna kill it, like originally, like on
I did
Arrival.
too,
I
actually.
thought it was gonna be dead on Arrival, but it still has its hind legs, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's gotten a lot better too. I really like that show.
It has gotten to more like a lot more slice of lifey than it usually was. Freaking Panda can't find a girlfriend, and he's just like this anime loving like nerd guy, and I always
And you
I
can
find
relate.
that quite I find that quite charming. That's
And you can relate
that's-
to it because you're a
no,
fucking wee bitch.
So the next video in Reveal Life is gonna be I haven't announced this yet. I only told Mann about this, and
You
I only
kinda
told
did.
I only told you a segment of what I was doing, Zach. The video is about 4 shows.
Oh.
And the video is titled Nickelodeon Stinkers. And basically what the premise is, a lot of people who shitted on the show and did not give it a chance at all because of like when it came out, it just left a bad taste in his mouth. Like when Planet Sheen came out during the booming age of like there was like 3 CGI shows on Nickelodeon already, and adding another one didn't help all that much, especially one that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
So like that and people shitting on Breadwinners on Arrival because it had do a barrel roll, and like the internet age was booming at that time, so people were like, do a barrel roll, oh my goodness, I hate this show. So like basically I'm just like going through that and saying like, oh, you guys were like up your ass at that time. I thought those shows were like fucking great. Except for Planet Sheen. I'm gonna shit on Planet Sheen.
Good, good. You had me worried. I was like, shit, man. Was Planet Sheen that good? Do I have to go back and watch Planet Sheen?
no.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
That like Sheen was one of those characters that only worked in small doses.
Yeah.
Only as like supporting. He was not meant for main.
And that's Zach's take on it too. He's like, yeah, like there's you can write a show about a side character, but you gotta remember what made them the side character in the first place. If you're
Right.
structuring a whole, like it's like I don't know if you guys watch King of the Hill, but imagine a Dale Gribble show.
Oh
yeah,
god,
it wouldn't be that great.
no,
It wouldn't be that good. Like he's only good in segments. You
Or
can't-
imagine like if Family Guy did a thing where it's just Cleveland. Like that would be dumb, you know.
Oh.
I mean, they
Oh,
kind of.
no.
I mean, kind of proved that.
Well, like that just proves the point off the riff. If you make a show about a side character that isn't live action, by the way, if you make a show about a side character in animation, it's not going to hit as hard as what it was as the dynamic of all the other characters. There's
Yeah.
dynamics that goes into.
She was a side character on Beavis and Butthead.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was.
She had
Yeah,
like a
she
cameo every now.
No,
and then.
no, no. This was way before the show. She was a side character on Beavis and Butthead,
Oh,
and then they
Yeah.
made a whole show.
huh. Now, is that the only premise you have for side characters having pretty
Corey
good?
in the house.
Now that's a live action,
Okay.
which brings me into Sam and Cat. See, here's what happened.
Okay.
Victorious took their side character, who was wacky and zany, and iCarly did kind of the same. What the fuck? Yeah, iCarly took their brash character, who was she was a guy. She was a tomboy. Fuck it. I don't know.
God
man.
damn it, D-Dub, fuck. You having a stroke on my podcast?
Yeah, I was having an aneurysm just now. It was
Okay,
crazy.
good. Are you okay?
But having them both, like that's how you write it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Sam and Cat was all right. I didn't have the privilege to watch the entire series to be like, oh hell yeah, this show was the best. But I watched like little episodes to be like, oh, they wrote that how they are in their original properties, and that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, it was fine for what it was.
If they made the show with Sheen and Carl, it probably would have been better.
They kind of did.
They kind of did with the little
Fuck,
green
they
alien
did
being
too,
sort of Carl.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, why didn't you just put Carl there?
Yeah.
like for real.
It's not hard to just get the 3D rig of freaking Carl. Come on.
Hell, they remade they had to remake a whole new one, but this time it's green and
Yeah.
globby.
Beautiful.
God
Beautiful.
damn it.
Thank you,
that show.
thank you, Omation, for giving us godsends like Jimmy Neutron back at the barnyard.
I was thinking about Back at the Barnyard the other day,
Ant Bully.
and I
Back
don't
at
remember
the
it
bar-
being that bad.
Back in the barnyard now has this group of followers. The same thing with the Looney Tunes show. When people are just now realizing that it was good.
I remember liking that show, and when I think back at it, I think about a lot of the stupid jokes because it never took itself very seriously.
Oh my goodness! The thing I liked the most about Back at the Barnyard was that they were writing a show as if nobody was watching it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like,
They
the
do.
jokes that they put in there made so much nonsense.
They were
People
dumb.
just like, oh hell yeah! Just-
They were so stupid, but they were
weren't
so
consistent.
entertaining.
It was just entertaining because they were just writing it like, well, like nobody's gonna watch your show anyway, so let's just fuck around.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what it
almost
was.
like that Ghost Stories anime where they really
Yeah.
fucked around. They were
Oh my
like,
goodness,
no,
they
nobody's
took
about to
liberties
watch
up
this.
the ass. With
I love that
shit.
Ghost Stories anime.
Yeah, I haven't seen the full thing. I mainly seen clips, and I still can't get over this one with the fucking rabbit. It's too funny. Like it's just
Isn't that one where like he has a deep voice or something? Or isn't that like,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's reminiscent. It's like he's like, touch me.
yeah, that's what it was.
Like I was like,
Touch me
hello.
harder. I was like, oh hell yeah.
But bruh, they killed me with this one racial joke. Like the girl was like, I know the reason why we couldn't be together is not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black. I was like, bro.
yeah, man. That's how you write it, bruh. That's how you
Beautiful.
freaking.
Like-
I don't know.
Them dubbing companies, they be having some fun. Like
Yes, they
Funimation,
do.
even like most recently with like Dragon Ball Super, and when they were in the
Oh my goodness, they've been having a lot more fun dubbing Super than
Yeah,
all
for
the
real.
rest of Dragon Ball Z series.
Bruh, I swear to God, though, like they knew what they were doing with the character of Black Goku. Like when
Oh my goodness,
Goku
he's
went to the
not
future-
black.
Yeah, don't shoot, he's not black.
Don't shoot, he's not black. That
This man is not black. I'm
so
like,
many ways,
shit.
but the fact that they put it in that way was it was so beautiful.
Yeah, like they knew exactly how to do that joke.
They fucking
knew
wrote it, and they looked at each other, and they chuckled a bit, and then they kept working.
Yep.
I know off the bat, Trunks was probably like, yeah, we did that.
He's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want me to read this? I was like, yeah.
Man, I want to go as far as to say that he probably took liberties and was like, hey, can I make a black joke here? But he's like, well, right now is the best time to nanny.
Right.
All right, so with the 5 minutes remaining in the podcast, Zach, what would you say is the next video for you?
I've had a couple.
Hey, Zach, did you watch Coachella?
No.
Coachella was pretty all right. Now, here's the thing about Coachella. Childish Gambino is now doing this thing. We all knew it was coming. Me and you, Zach.
Okay.
He's now doing this whole higher power gimmick. Like Kendrick Lamar is doing, is like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Like fucking, he's now doing that gimmick of like, hey, don't take out your cell phones during this performance, which I find very, I like that gimmick. But if I'm paying like what $100 to fucking come to a concert, I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want. Like,
I don't know. The cell phone argument's weird. I can go either way on it. Honestly.
I'm for the living in the moment gimmick. But I'm also in for the, hey, I paid $100. Fuck you. like thing too. Gambino hasn't released an album at all. He's been hinting at it for like the longest time, but he just has yet to put it out. And I know the songs are done because he's done the snippets at Coachella.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be on his. This is supposed to be his final album. Like,
because
done
he
with the whole
fucking
Gambino
mastered
thing.
music.
He thinks that he's too great for music now, and the whole Lion King. Oh my god, don't get me started on that. Do you think that Lion King will sell as much as the first?
I'm be real. I want that to actually fail, just so.
Oh my god, man,
me too.
Man, that you're not the only things. Oh my gosh, me on Arrival, I was like, this is an all-star cast. I feel great for all of them. I just want this movie to do as bad as it possibly can, so they won't do this anymore.
Yeah,
right.
I feel like Aladdin's gonna fucking fail. No one's even talking about it. I don't know how Dumbo did.
I think it's gonna acquire more. I think it's gonna acquire more of the meme crowd to see Will Smith in CGI than people are actually going to go see it.
I don't know how Dumbo did. That just came out. I haven't seen any numbers.
That actually kind of bombed. Like, a lot of people were not.
Oh my god,
Dumbo.
I think Dumbo was a bad property to take because it's not that popular.
It didn't need to be made in that way.
No, it didn't.
A lot of these movies don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they can take some risks. They're about to make it all back with Infinity War and Spider-Man and Star Wars.
Disney will always make their fucking money back.
Right.
Goddamn. But freaking the fact that like Lion King was my limit. I was like, you know what? We need to stop it here before they be like, yeah, Toy Story live action. And I'm gonna be like,
that would be, oh god.
And that'll be it for me. I will hang up be like, Disney, we need to have a talk.
I hate that they're calling it live action.
Yeah, because it's really just an animated movie, but photorealistic, and it's not in a good way at all.
It's just CG, man.
Yeah. Like fucking, you can say Aladdin and Dumbo are live action. They are. They have real people doing shit with CG shit. But this is all a CG movie, and it looks like dirt, and it's boring as shit, and all the fucking like side by sides people have been posting. It's so fucking sad.
Them walking on a log.
Yeah, it's so fucking. It made me really sad. Like, I don't even get too hard about this shit, and I was like, wow, that's.
I was like, how hard was it to make a fucking lion's head bop side to side?
Yeah, for real.
Bruh, like, you're trying to show these iconic moments, but you're showing how you dumbed them down and downgraded. Like, you don't realize this. Like, God.
I think Jungle Book did a better job with its CG. Like, they looked a little more cartoony. Just like a bit. Yeah. Oh, shit. What the fuck?
Oh, wait. Damn, we're over time. Fuck it. Zach, what's your next video and close out the show?
Next video is going to be What You Heard. I don't know what it's about yet, but I have an idea. Okay.
Riku?
Fuck you. God damn. Thank you, Mann, for coming on the show. Do you have anything you would like to promote?
just like to promote my channel, Man of a Thousand Thoughts. That's Man MANN. So
Yeah.
not to get too confused.
We got the
Just-
link in the description.
All right, that's cool. Just thanks for having me on, man. It's
Yeah,
great
thanks
to
for
shoot
coming.
shit and talk.
Do you
all
not
this
like
stuff.
the joke? Well, like you talk about this all the time, and it's hilarious. The man of 1,000 thoughts.
I was gonna bring it up.
Oh, my-
It was gonna
Bro,
be my opening
how often
joke.
do you hear it? How often do you hear it than you like to?
just one too many, if anything. Like, like just the one.
And that's
That's
just
enough.
it.
That's
just
enough.
it.
That was enough for you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank
Good
you
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks everyone. Peace out.
All right.
Happy Easter and shit.